Well, hey everyone, it's Marcus and welcome to more chatting in my jungle room, heading over to Melbourne today, which is very cold, very wet apparently, where I'm speaking to Emily Ulman. Emily, come in. How are you?
Hi, so nice to be here with
I
you
know. How
in
about
your jungle room.
Australia or Melbourne and Adelaide particularly? We're entering the winter period now, the winter of our discontent.
I hope not. I hope like I'm very much contented. I'm like hugging the
Oh
sea.
my God, I've got my tea as well. I've got lemon and ginger grass. What have you got?
I have a peppermint and licorice.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's like
nice.
I fancy. It's like when I'm like gonna have a really nice time and a chat, I will brew this particular tea. I love it.
That. Hey, you know what? Let's speak about teas for a second. I had the most intriguing tea just a couple of weeks ago at a cafe here in Adelaide. It was coconut tea, and it was
Oh,
absolutely outrageous. I'd never had it before, but
okay. Was
incredible.
it like a tea leaf situation
Yeah,
or
yeah, it was actually it was very intriguing and a whole different kind of taste sensation. So if you ever see coconut tea on a menu on a
what?
drinks list somewhere, just try it out. It's pretty good.
Interesting, because I could talk about tea for hours. My cupboard, I have tea, tea, tea. I'm a tea gal.
Yes,
I don't
absolutely.
drink coffee. So
Well, you know what? That's why we're friends now, Emily.
high five.
Woo! Now, we could talk about tea forever. We could talk about life. We could talk about weather. But most importantly, we're here to talk about the new single, Mountains, Mountains, Mountains. Woo! Tell us all about that. It is really beautiful. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Before I set about sort of with the release plan and the singles and the yeah, the schedule for releasing the album, etc., I sort of got a few people's opinions on which songs they thought were standout and which ones they thought I should release as singles. And that one was unanimous. Many others were like, yeah, people love very different songs, but Mountains kept coming up. So it just felt like that was a really good one to get out there early on. And yeah, it's funny. Like the vibe is sort of a little bit, for me, up tempo. I know it's not a banger by any stretch, but it's like it has this I don't know, like jingly kind of movement to it. And it was sort of about a road trip picnic that I took with friends to the Australian bush. And we had like a picnic and we went on a bushwalk. And it was very much about like, uh, the landscape and mountains, mountains, mountains. And we walked on the park, we parked on the path. Like it's all very, yeah, literal. But I guess the subtext or whatever else is going on is really just about what you don't see, I guess. Like there's this, pristine beauty and it's all very lush and beautiful. But then there's this undercurrent of, things being overgrown and things, being a bit more sinister and getting bitten by Australian snakes. Not really, not really. But it actually came to me because I was obsessed with this Japanese proverb. Marcus, do you love Japanese proverbs?
Yes, I do.
I feel like you would. And this one is the reverse side has a reverse side. And I just love that. I just love, you know, just everything is not necessarily as it seems. And it's okay to dig deeper and have, you know, a look under the hood and, and that these things not only can coexist, but it's beautiful that they do. Like it's lovely that things are overgrown and it's lovely that they're, pristine and it's lovely that all these things can be true at once.
Darling, you know what? In reference to music, you can't have a side A without a side B.
Exactly. I guess it's the whole yin yang thing. Like it's, you can't have night without day and you can't have, Marcus without.
Here. Hey, Emily, let's keep it on the quotes for a minute because I want to read this. This is something you've actually said, and I'm going to read it. I'm going to have to lift up my iPad because I don't want to get this wrong because it's actually really beautiful. It feels like, so your recent music, is what you said. It feels like returning to a part of myself I almost forgot I missed. How do you mean?
So this is my first release musically for 10 years. So I have released, I think this is number 5. It might be number 6. I don't know if I admit to the first one. But yeah, it's been such a long time. So I think like putting music or something creative back into the world after so long is sort of like sort of catching yourself by surprise. I sort of felt like, oh wow, yeah, this is what I do, and this is I'm a musician. Yeah, it's taken a minute to reclaim that side of myself, and it's really nice. Like the feedback's been awesome, and I'm just enjoying it. I feel really happy.
Living in that
So
moment. And smell those roses, right?
yeah,
Yep. Hey,
exactly.
let's go back to when you were younger. Who were you listening to that really led you down the path and inspired you to do actually what you do now?
Well, I guess before I could, before I was old enough to choose my own music or trusted with the stereo at home and our record player, my parents were like old folkies. And so they really loved well, Leonard Cohen was a staple, but everyone from like Joan Baez to Woody Guthrie to Tom Paxton to Peter Paul Mary, like I was brought up on the real folkies. And that's my first love. Like I still hear those artists and Bob Dylan, and yeah, I just still have this full regression to my childhood, um and those sorts of like real sort of songwriters, like sort of you know with something to say and something to share and something to you know, to narrate about a particular time, and that really resonates with me. So I feel like my lyrics are a big part of why I am a songwriter. I think it's just a vehicle to be able to just have a chat.
Your lyrics are beautiful and they're beautiful storytelling lyrics also. Hey, staying back when you were, slightly younger, when you had money in your pocket, what was the first album that you actually purchased for yourself?
Oh, I love this question. Well, I actually bought a cassette, which probably dates me, but I was obsessed with Jackson 5. So they were like, I bought like many, as many Jackson 5, like even the super obscure ones, anything I could get my hands on that was like, and I was also into sort of soft metal. I loved like Motley Crue and I loved Gunners and Def Leppard and, that kind of era. So, yeah, sometimes I wonder if it has permeated my songwriting in some way. Like a friend, Charlotte, says that she can hear that in my songwriting, which is funny. So I think like it would have been, yeah, I think my first ever album was a Def Leppard album.
I don't know how we're not related. Maybe we are, and our parents just haven't
Yeah.
told us because my first album I ever bought was Michael Jackson Thriller. I mean, give it up for Michael. And my first concert I ever went to was Midnight Oil. So we've got a similar
Okay.
vein running through us.
Yeah. Midnight Oil, definitely. I like they were, yeah, I have two older sisters and one younger, and like my sisters, after my parents let us kind of take over the stereo, my sisters used to be my biggest musical influences, and they definitely loved Midnight Oil, and The Cure, I think, was in there, and all sorts of things. Like it was just a journey.
Like you were saying before, it was 10 years ago, literally to this year, that you released Wear It Well. Why have you had the 10-year break? What did you need to work on?
Well, I've been working in the industry for sort of in the music industry for 20 something years. I've just been working in programming and in, yeah, curating and all sorts of, teaching and mentoring. And I still do radio and all sorts of bits that I um, have focused on. But when time just does its thing, like you don't actually realize it's been 10 years. You sort of think like, oh, I definitely want to release music again. Like that's definitely something that's going to happen. But then time just times.
It is
And
5 years. Can you believe it's been 5 years since that COVID period occurred?
there was
Mint.
that as well. I put out, yeah, I started an online music festival called Isolate, and that, yeah, that took up, so that's 5 years ago. It's like, how did that happen? Um,
Now, so
So,
new music, obviously, mountains, mountains, mountains. When can we expect the album? When is that coming out?
well, it hasn't been officially announced,
Oh,
so
okay. So,
but it will be later this year. It'll be like October, I would say, somewhere around there. Yeah.
and you
So,
were in
but
Adelaide.
then.
I love your hair, by the way. I
Likewise.
I like your hair. It's fabulous.
Well,
It's like,
even this bit, this unruly bit,
even all
trying
the
to warm
faded.
up. I've
I
got
know.
my
Grr. I know it's not
my
very often I sit in my home with a leather jacket on. It's actually freezing. But what was I going to say? So with the new album, when it may come out, is there going to be a tour? You were in Adelaide just earlier this year for WOMAD, but can we expect another tour with the new
yeah,
music?
yeah, definitely. I definitely want to tour it and yeah, have some fun, play some shows, meet some people, be on stage. Can't wait.
Awesome. Now, big question as we go out. If you had a dream collaboration, it could be absolutely anybody. Who would you love to collaborate with?
Like alive or dead?
You know what? Let's open it up. Alive or dead?
Um, well, it's hard to go past Leonard Cohen. He was my first love. Like he was my kind of that would be pretty fun. I love Jonathan Richman. I love him. So I would very much like to do that. Stephen Merritt, I covered a magnetic field song on a few albums ago. So I know I can only choose one, but I'm just creating a bit of a wish list.
Yeah,
Caroline
I
Pollock,
like the wish list.
Fiona Apple. Maybe I'll create a super group and whoever can make it on the day, because people get sick and they have to take the kids to school, whatever like. So I'll just send everyone out a calendar invite and whoever shows up will have a jam.
Look, now you're provoking more questions for me, for you. Um, okay, right. Out of all the incredible artists that we've lost, and we've lost some absolute major, major big players just recently, whether it be Prince or Bowie, Amy Winehouse, a lot of them. If there was one artist that has passed away over any period of time that you would love to hear one more new album from, who would it be?
Probably one that yeah, probably Prince, I think.
Mm.
Just like, I mean, oh my God, if Bowie had some secret hidden recordings that have not been released and were discovered in some time capsule, I would be very open to giving that
I'm
a
sure there is
crash.
something lying around somewhere,
I think so.
a
Just,
creative soul. But
yeah. Happens
Emily,
if people buy hard drives and mini discs and cassettes, and I've got some weird old things. So, yeah.
they don't want to open up my chest when I die. Who knows what they're going to find?
Your chest or your
I don't know,
chest?
just figuratively, yeah. Emily, what an absolute delight. I want to say congratulations to you on Mountains, Mountains, Mountains. Please, everyone go out and listen to it. And please keep your ears peeled for when the tour announcements occur. Possibly, who knows? But, we'll see. But definitely look out for that album by the end of the year. Emily Ulman, what an absolute delight. I want to chat with you again when the album comes out. Do another interview on that one, if we could, please.
Have a cup of tea. I'm going to come and see you.
Yay! I can't wait for you to hit Adelaide. We're going to meet and we're going to have a good old session on music and life and tea.
Love it. Thanks, Marcus. You're the best.
Have a great day. Enjoy. See you, honey. Bye.